Okay, now it's on.
Still flickering though.
It's just connecting still.
Okay.
Huh. Huh. Oh, there it goes. Awesome. We're back on. Cool. Well, we're just gonna keep going. We're doing still building this pile up. My son's kind of wetting it down in between. We're now on to adding more mulch to the on top of the chicken manure. Hey, if you didn't get a chance to ask questions earlier, please, you may have already asked questions. We couldn't see the comments really. It's weird. We were having issues with the connection. So if you guys have questions for us and we didn't answer them in the other live, please put them here so that we can see them, because I think now we should be good. My son is here keeping an eye on, he's keeping an eye on the chat here for us, okay? You can zoom in and out sometimes. Move that over a little bit. That way you have a better shot, better view of it. There we go. These chickens are loving me moving all this mulch around. They're like, hey, thanks, man. Find some bugs. The girls just seem to love it when I do like maintenance and work in their area. Right, girls and boys? Or, yeah, one boy. Hello, if you're new here, welcome to the channel. We're just doing a little bit of maintenance here on the farm, working on building up this pile. I'm gonna get it all the way to the top here. We've been adding greens, browns, greens. We're not doing specific ratios. We're just doing like a little bit more browns every time we add some greens. Nothing complicated. Don't overthink it. That's my motto. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and add some more chicken manure that we took out from under the roosting bars on top of this mulch. It's a little windy out here. Hopefully that's not affecting the mic. I think the little fluffy thing helps though. You can bring it a tad closer if you want. You can move it up a little bit closer if you wanted to. Put a little bit more of this in there. It's got feathers, a little bit of mulch. There's actually biochar in here from me tossing that underneath. Show you that. Little pieces here. Pretty cool. Start putting some more browns. Oh, cool. We got some of our little chicks coming over. Throw a little bit of scratch out here for them, see if they'll get closer. Running out of this fermented, this is fermented barley here that we've been fermenting for a little while. Hey, if you haven't fermented yet or you're thinking about fermenting, this is by far the best time of the year to do it, okay? Because you don't have to worry about the temperatures being just right. Right now, we've been like highs in the 50s, 60s, and most of your ferment food is going to be like room temperature around 70 degrees. So the shelf life of this fermented feed is way better during this time of the year. So fall, winter, early spring, by far the best time. If you've ever had any issues in the summer trying to ferment your food, this is the time to retry it, give it a shot. And I always tell everyone, start with a whole grain feed. Okay, this is whole barley seed, and so it ferments really clean. You don't have to worry about messes with it like you do with pellet feeds. And what I like to do is, if I ever can't ferment, like let's say a pellet feed or a layer feed, I'm always fermenting a whole grain feed like this. Another one that's good is chicken wheat. You can throw like scratch into a container like this. This is a 3 gallon glass container, and it's perfect for fermenting feed. If you want to do small batches, most people don't have a flock my size. I have about, I think right now I have anywhere from, man, probably close to 40 birds right now. I would say at least 40, 50 birds. So I do smaller batches and they work great, but I'm going to go ahead and toss this out here for them. Hey, babies. We'll get them a little bit of feed here. No hay nadie. Está bien. Hey, again, if you're new to my channel, just want to say big welcome to you, May's Homestead Chronicles, and where we like to, practice regenerative methods for gardening, raising our chickens. Love permaculture type of ideas and methods as well. So we apply a lot of that on our farm. Basically, we like to do it the way God intended, okay? No chemicals, no synthetic stuff, just pure and simple the way that God intended. So yeah, I got let's see here. If you're curious what kind of breeds we got, I've got some white Plymouth Rock. Well, I think I got one more of those right now. All these white ones, the smaller, skinnier white ones, are white Leghorns. I've got Rhode Island Red chickens, and then some of these other ones, they've got a real pretty pattern on them that's like gray and black. They are Silver Lace Wyandottes. I've also got some Buff Orpingtons in here. And let's see what else we got. Man, I think we got like one brown Leghorn, and then all the little chicks that you see are just mixed breeds, which is what we're working on out here. I've told a lot of you guys we've been working on a landrace breed, and so a lot of these chicks have all these different breeds that are mixed in, which is helps them to become really hardy chickens, disease resistant, parasite resistant. So they're just thriving. They're doing really good. Hopefully you can see them. They're actually like right back over here. Let me move this out of the way. It's kind of blocking some of the view maybe. They're right over here. The smaller birds. Those silkies have been raising these chicks, and they've done a really good job. Guys, listen, if you can have a rooster and you're able to hatch your own chicks, highly recommend using the silky chicken breed as a mother. By far, hands down, best breed for hatching and mothering chicks. So I'm gonna say that till I beat it in the ground, because man, I've had different hens raise chicks. Like I've had let's see here, I've had a Rhode Island Red, I've had a white Plymouth Rock raise chicks for me, and they were okay, and they only hatched out about 5 chicks, okay, 5 tops at a time. These silkies have hatched me out about 18 chicks, which is mind-blowing. And so we're just so thankful, and they're doing really well. And they've been raised from just little bitty, day old on the pasture. Most people would say you should not have them on the pasture. They'll die, they won't do well. So, but they're doing really good. And I just thought I would show you show you that and tell you a little bit about land-raised stuff. I thought about getting me an incubator, and then I did a lot of research and found that silky hens are just really good moms. So I decided to go with them, and it's been the best decision I made as far as hatching out chicks. Another thing I wanted to show you over here, because I know I was going to talk a little bit about gardening. When it comes to gardening, especially like fall, I like to seed heavily. There's a YouTuber that I watch. His name's David the Good. He's got a lot of great content, and that's his motto too. Is like he would rather plant more stuff than not plant enough and end up with just a few plants. So you can see out here that we've seeded this very heavily, and we're gonna have lots to give to the chickens because we did that. Just lots of extra greens that we normally wouldn't have during this time of year. And our zone is zone 8. So we get, oh, got a question here. Let's see what it says. Oh, it's a comment. What is the comment?
Your idea of using a mud trial to clean my roofing board straight to a feed.
Oh, cool. We got someone saying that they took my idea for using the mudding trowel to clean the roosting bars. Awesome. Happy that worked out good for you. It's perfect. And I mean, it's just right, you know, especially if you're using 2x4s or 2x2s. So very happy that that was useful for you. All right, I'm going to keep going a little further on the on this compost pile here. Just going to throw some more browns on here. We've just been building this up. I was mentioning in the other live chat that we had going that we're going to start incorporating the chickens more in our composting systems. This is just a no-brainer, guys. Okay, so basically what you do is you build up your pile. This keeps them out of there because you don't want them to have full access to your compost pile. They're going to just throw it everywhere and you'll never get a pile to build up. But one of the great things about doing this is that you can build it up, and then once you got it here for about 2 or 3 days sitting, right, composting a little bit, decomposing, then you're going to open it up, take the wire off, put it off to the side. And then once you do that, the chickens come in and they'll turn the whole pile for you. And it's great. Hang on one sec. Let me just check something real fast. Awesome. Looks like we got pretty good connection so far. How often do we clean the nesting boxes? I like to clean the nesting boxes out maybe like once a month, and you can do it sooner if you have any concerns. You know, we haven't had any issues with, like, let's say mites or anything like that, because our chickens are always moving, and then we use diatomaceous earth in the nesting boxes. So that's another thing you can do. Like if you don't have time to clean out your nesting boxes, let's just say you're busy that month or whatever, definitely a good idea to apply some diatomaceous earth in there in the bedding of the nesting boxes. That'll help prevent those pesky mites. My son just brought me a load of mulch over here with this little tractor that we got hooked up to the zero turn. Hey, you almost sprayed me there. It's all good. Go ahead. You can go ahead. I'll just throw it over here on top. So thankful that I've got some great helpers out here.
Okay, Grandma says, what do you put
in the what?
boxes?
Hold on, let me read the comment.
Let's see.
What do you put in your nesting boxes? Oh, okay. I'm assuming she's saying nesting boxes. Okay. So basically what we like to use is hay, and that's mainly because we have hay out here. Like we've got coastal Bermuda. So that's what we use because we just harvest it. It's free. Only thing it takes is a little time to let it grow out and then mow it down and harvest it. But that's what we use. And then you want to show them where we store it. So when we harvest the hay, for those of you who haven't seen it, we built this little hay storage thing here. And so we just put the hay in here. Actually, I'm all out of it right now, so I need to get some more.
Yeah, these hay.
Here, right here.
Hay. Yeah. These hay for the
What was it? What were they asking? I'm sorry.
grandma.
Hey, this is a little bit. Give us just a second, guys. We're gonna try to get this little tripod's kind of messing up on us a little bit.
I moved it down there.
Yeah, but it's.
Yeah.
I think we can adjust it here. Let me see. Sorry, guys. Give us just a second. We're just trying to adjust this so that way. See, this is what turns it. So if it's ever crooked, you can just like adjust it that way. All right. Your hay storage bin. Thanks for the compliment on the hay storage bin. It's worked really well for us, and it keeps the hay nice and dry throughout the season so far. All right, I'm gonna go get me some more chicken manure from underneath the roosting bars. We'll see if he can catch that. Maybe he can move it over here and see. Yeah, I think we start losing connection once he comes into the coop, so he's gonna have to stay right there by the door. What do y'all have planned for the rest of the day or for the week? Any gardening chores or chicken care stuff you got to do? Also, just a warning, make sure that you use some kind of face covering. I like to use just like, a rag or even a scarf to put around my mouth just to keep the debris and the particles out of your lungs. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw. Actually, I'll move it over here on this side. That way y'all can still see the chickens. I'm gonna go ahead and start adding another layer of nitrogen here. Just these the chicken manure and materials that are underneath the roosting bars. We've got lots of biochar in here from when I actually added some when I was making the video on biochar. If you haven't seen that, be sure to check it out. I have a couple videos now where I show you how to make it. But see, we've got some biochar pieces inside, manure inside there that I just harvested out. Okay, we got another comment here. Amazing coop, my friend. It's time to gather fallen leaves for compost mulching. I never think I have enough. I know what you mean, Santi. There's never enough of nitrogen materials or your carbon materials, your leaves, your mulch. But the great news is there's so many people who put bags of leaves on their curb. Okay, this is puzzling to me, especially as a gardener, but I get it. Some people just want to clean their yards out. But I've got an amazing lady in town up the road from us that collects leaves, and I know that she doesn't use any synthetic stuff, so it's all clean stuff. And her name's actually Christy Toll, and I want to give her a shout out. Thank you, Christy, for being so sweet and always collecting leaves for us. Big blessing. How are you doing, Santi? How's your Sunday going, man? I know you had been mentioning you got quite a bit of stuff that you got some projects coming up. So I know you've been staying busy. For those of you who are just now tuning in, just want to say welcome. Thank you for spending a little bit of time with us here. This is not something we do very regularly, so hope you enjoy it. This is just kind of giving you a raw feel of what it's like to have a homestead and kind of some of the chores that are involved with that. But this compost system here, guys, super easy. We had some extra wire. This is like a no-climb wire. And what we did is we literally just made like a circle. We've tied it with a couple of pieces of wire. You can use D-rings. D-rings work really nice because you can take them off real easily. But we just used some wire to attach this together. And then we're going to build this up, right? So just your browns, your greens, browns, greens, until we get to the very top. And actually, I'll even come a little higher than this. This is probably about 4 feet tall roughly. And once this is ready to be turned, I will take this apart, put the wire off to the side, and the chickens will turn it for me. I won't have to do that. It gives them something to do. It takes a load off of me, and it's fun to watch, and they'll get like, you know, bugs out of it and lots of goodies. And then once I'm ready to pile it up again, I will go ahead and put this wire together again, tie it together, add the materials, and just start, you know, same thing, repeat until I get nice, rich compost. And it's really an effective way to compost, guys. It's quite simple. And see, this keeps them out of it while it's decomposing, because I don't want them to be in my compost area the whole time, right? Because then it's just going to be everywhere and it'll never get hot. So this kind of allows them to stay out and this material to decompose a little bit. Sorry, hopefully I didn't bore you there, but I just wanted to give you an idea of what we do with this type of system and how it works. Super easy. And if you have chickens, it's just a no-brainer. What's that, bud? Sorry, I got it. My son's asking me something. Okay, yeah. He's gonna give him a little bit of this. We've got a little bit of. It's okay. It'll fit. You just gotta push it. We got a little bit of barley here in this little container that we've been fermenting. I need to refill it and fill it back up. But chickens love it. We've been kind of trying to make it to our next delivery order of feed. You know, I've made it my goal that I'm not going to buy more conventional feed before I get my next order, because I don't want to be that dependent on it. Okay, that's the goal, is to be less and less dependent on these conventional feeds as possible. So like, we haven't had any, like, let's say quote unquote layer feed for the past 3 days or more. But guess what we've been doing? We've been problem solving by making rice, beans for them. We did oatmeal for them one day. I've done scrambled eggs because we have extra eggs. Different things like that, you know, it's just, you got to do what you can with what you have. And again, this is just one of those things we want to be able to get where we don't have to rely so much on conventional feed. And I mean, look at these birds. Do they look like they're starving? You know, I mean, they're healthy, they're plump, and they're happy. It's different for someone who maybe keeps their chickens in a coop all day long. You know, it might be a little bit different, and it might be a little bit more difficult to go without that conventional feed. But if you have the space, you're able to get your chickens out like this, it just makes sense to not have to worry so much about those things. I'm gonna keep piling this up here, putting some more browns. If y'all have any more questions at all, okay. Uh-oh. Okay, Santi's saying that we... Oh, he's saying something about the connection? Oh, okay. Yeah, Santi's, you know what? It might be something to do with on our end. Hopefully y'all aren't hearing the wind, because it is a little windy out here. Okay. I have this little like wind buffer thing on top of it, but it might not be helping. So let me know if you're hearing the wind at all. As far as connection, there's a chance it could be on our end, and that's why I'm glad that you're saying that. Well, how many bars is it saying we have there, son? Let me see what it says here.
Sufficient.
So my son's trying to tell me what we got going on here in the comment section. Okay. I love your tricks to reduce the need for commercial feed. It makes absolute sense to be more and more self-sufficient. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Santi. Yeah, we're trying. Well, you know, we're constantly learning. You never stop learning. And if there's one thing I have learned out here, is that you've got to problem solve constantly and constantly brainstorm. Oh, so it's just a connection thing? Okay, good. Thank you, Santi, for clarifying that the sound sounds good on your end, because it's actually pretty windy right now. I think it's like 15 to 17 mile per hour winds. So we're feeling it and we're hearing it, but you guys, I guess, aren't hearing it because of this wind buffer that I've got on the mic. All right, let's see if we got any more questions here. Sun just walked off. All right, we don't hear the wind. Oh, okay, we heard that one already. Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much for giving us that feedback. It means a lot because it kind of helps us to understand what you guys are hearing and what you're seeing. Hey, is there anything that y'all would like to see me do while we're going live right now? Is there anything that y'all like to see, I guess, a visual of while we're on? Because we're about to be probably tuning out here soon. What were you saying, bud? Almost. So this pile can keep coming up. Probably won't finish that in this live stream just because I'd rather discuss other things and focus on questions if we have any. But this pile definitely could come up to this point easily. Yeah, you can. Oh, you already turned it off? Okay, Son's gonna turn off the water real quick. I'm gonna spray this pile before you turn it off. Oh, sorry, I just knocked. I'm bumping the tripod here. Sorry, guys. Wet this down real good. You want to keep the pile nice and moist. You never want your compost pile to dry out. I know I've talked about that a lot in some of my other videos, but it's true. If you want it to decompose and become compost quicker, you definitely want to keep it nice and moist. Doesn't have to be sopping wet. It just needs to be, well, I guess what I'll say is it's better for it to be wet than to be dry, okay? I have a lot of guys that are like, oh, you absolutely shouldn't have it too wet, but I would rather it be more wet than, completely dried out. Move this over here. See if I can get some of these landrace breeds to come a little closer. Come on, babies. Come on. Come on, babies. Come on. Oh, here they come. The big ones are going to scare them off, probably. Here, I'll come over here. Come on, babies. Come on. Yeah, they're a little bit hesitant. Oh, here comes mamas and babies right now. So if you're wondering what mixed breeds these are, so I'll just show you real quick. Hey, babies. So these right here, these the ones that have fur, like kind of like some feathers on their feet, those are a mix of white leghorn. So dad is white leghorn, mom silky. This one right here was a barred rock mother that this one comes from, and then the dad was Rhode Island red and white leghorn mix. So dad was a mix of two different breeds, which is really cool. The dad was like one of our first or second generation landrace breeds. And then these ones right here that are real pretty auburn color, smaller ones, they're kind of almost a reddish color. Those are going to be a mix of Rhode Island red mother, and then the dad was Rhode Island red and white leghorn. And I've mentioned this before in the videos. My two preferred birds right now, as far as just like mixing and for meat and egg purposes, is going to be your Rhode Island red. So R and I call them RIR, and then your white leghorn, your WLs. But those are the two top ones for me because white leghorns lay like 350 eggs. It might even be 380 eggs a year. I got to go back and look at that. But they're always giving us eggs. And then your Rhode Island reds are good for dual purpose, meat and egg. And we like to raise meat birds out here too, as far as like the Cornish cross. They're just not a very sustainable breed from my experience. And so we're trying to get where we don't have to rely on these other sources for our meat, but we can just start creating a nice breed here on our land. And I mean, a lot of these actually, I was hoping that some of these, some of our older landrace breeds would come closer because I could show you how beautiful and they're plump. They're good looking birds. They're loving this stuff right here. But yeah, and if you're just tuning in and you're wondering, where do I start with fermented feed? I always tell people start with a scratch, which is like a partially ground whole grain or a whole grain feed. It's much easier to deal with when you're just starting out, as far as like cleanly, like not as messy. It ferments real easy. And then, once you get confident with that, then maybe move into some of your pellet stuff. But like, for example, you could be feeding pellet feed as your main, layer feed. And then on the side, do some scratch, or fermented scratch feed. And I always tell people, if you're not going to ferment your pellet feed, at least hydrate it. And I have videos showing how to do that. And actually the new fermented feed video that I have coming out, I will be discussing some of those things as well. But thank y'all for being patient, by the way, with that whole thing. We've been working on it for a while. Just want to make sure we get it right for y'all. They're loving it. So for those of you who didn't hear, this is just fermented barley that I've got going on. There may have been a little bit of mash feed in here from last time. I do a lot of what's called backslapping, where you just, you know, like this container here. I'm going to, actually I can show you right now. I can dump some feed in here for y'all and show you that we leave this liquid. This is called the fermented brine. And then we just fill that up and make sure that the water's on, you know, oh, sorry guys. They're like, where's the feed, man? We just make sure that the water is always covering the feed at all times. That prevents mold and allows the good bacteria to get established. Or I should say that the cultures. Do y'all have any more questions for me at all, guys? Like I said, we're about to be probably getting off here in a little bit. I got some chores I got to get done here, and then got to go get our chicken feed today. Hey, if you're wondering, by the way, you know, where we get our feed, where we recommend, I would highly recommend Azure Standard. That's AZURE. And I'll make sure to link that in this video. I have it linked in some of my fermented feed videos. But the reason why I like them, guys, is because it's from local farms, okay? Family-owned farms. They're not going to be these big, huge corporations. And so that's why I prefer them. I used to get my stuff at like Tractor Supply, and I've always been like, man, how do I get away from Tractor Supply? How do I get away from, you know, Russell Feed or any of these other, you know, commercial stores? And so Azure Standard provides really good feeds from local family-owned farms. So these are our silky hens here. We got 1, 2, 3. This one here, man, she is tough. Like the other two get a little timid when the other chickens come around, but this one, she's, you know, maybe like 2/3 the size of some of the other hens, and she will not have no problem attacking them and defending her babies. It's pretty funny. Man, you guys are acting like you're starving. We just fed y'all not that long ago. Here. So back on the breeds here. So this one right here comes from a mother that is a mix, from what I understand, white Plymouth Rock, and she was also mixed with white Leghorn, and let's see, I think it's Rhode Island Red. So it's pretty cool, you know. But this specific one comes from the dad that she comes from it was 100% white Leghorn. This one right here. And then see, here's the ones that definitely have that Rhode Island Red plumage on them. It's pretty cool. Let me see if I can pick one of these ones up here with the, oh, come here, baby. I'm going to get all this yucky stuff on you. But see the legs? They've got these feathers that grow on the legs here. It's pretty cool. And then look at the top, the plumage on top. It's like a little bitty pompadour on top, kind of similar to the silkies. All right, I'm sorry, baby. I got you all nasty. All right. Well, guys, I guess what I'll do is do this last. We'll go ahead and do this. I'll show you how that works. And then we'll go ahead and end the live chat. Oh, okay. Well, sorry, guys. I thought I had more, but you know what I can do? I can just show you with this. So, for example, this is brown rice. We'll use brown rice this time to ferment and turn into a scratch. So I'm going to pour this in here about halfway. This is a whole grain, okay? This is a good example of a whole grain feed. See, it hasn't been processed. It's not partially ground up. I mean, it's been, you know, they've taken some of the fibers off of it, the husk or whatever you want to call it. But so we're going to do this. We've got our juice still in here. I'm actually going to take this one because this one's almost done. I'm going to dump this one in here first. Just want to show you how simple that is. And then take a little bit of this water we got here. Pour this inside. And then right to about there is fine. I probably put a little more than I needed to. But see, we've got half the feed you can see here, and then the rest water. That's what you want. When you do halfway, that's how you want to do it. You want to fill the rest up with water. That way you give room for expansion on the grains. And this is going to ferment a lot quicker than if I didn't have the brine for my last batch. Okay, so that's kind of a nice, you know, I guess, benefit of using the previous brine. As long as the brine does not smell funky or have a weird smell to it, you know, I like to stick with the sour smells. If it smells sour, kind of a nice ferment smell, that's good. If it smells like vomit, like some people have mentioned, that's not good. You know, or like a rancid smell. All right, and then we're just gonna put the lid on top of there, and that one's good to go. Well, guys, thank y'all as always for watching, giving your time, and I hope that you learned something new today, or if at least just enjoyed hanging out with me for a little bit. God bless y'all in Jesus' name, and we will see you in the next video. I hope to have that fermented feed chicken video out very soon, hopefully by next week. Okay, don't hold me to that. I'm gonna try my very best. Take care. Bye-bye. How are we?